So overall, no matter what play you're in, there really isn't instant gratification in the stock market where you're just going to make a ton of money. You're going to become a millionaire overnight. Are there exceptions? Yes. There's a few cases where you have a squeeze, you have, what we wanted with AMC and what we're still waiting for, the MOASS and GameStop. But the thing is, majority, if you're just basing it on like the majority of stocks, like 95%, I don't care if it's New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, and yes, IPOs and over the counters too. Majority of the time, it's long term. Okay. I mean, I understand the concept of day trading. I get it. Sometimes you get lucky and you can jump in and jump out and take profits. But again, is it life changing wealth? Like I said, I always like to give the analogy. I was day trading, believe it or not, during the coronavirus when it started, Tesla. And I remember this was back around March, I think, of 2020. I jumped in. I think the price was somewhere in the 400 range, 450. I can't remember. I have to check. But I was day trading it for the past like year, just in and out, in and out. And I was so proud of myself. Like I was making 10 grand here, 5 grand here, 2 grand there, whatever. Small, like not like tremendous money. Like the 10 grand was like probably my huge hit. But majority, I was making like 5 grand, 2 grand, just going in and out, holding it for whatever it is. Sometimes it could even be as quick as a day. Sometimes it could be a week, whatever the case may be, just in and out. My father, God bless his soul, may rest in peace, he bought and hold. That was it. He bought it the same time I bought it in 2020. Something was like 450. He bought a ton of it and he just held. And then, from time to time, he'd buy some more. And I remember him telling me to do the same thing, and I didn't listen to him. He was like, stop this, you know, repetitious buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. It's like, just hold it. Hold it. He was telling I listened to him. I was like, no, I'm doing good. I made 2 grand today. He's like, you're thinking small. Hold it. So anyway, long story short, at the end of the rainbow with all my day trading over a year, I don't know, 20, 25 grand, let's just say I made something. I don't know. My father made 500 and like 30,000. Okay. Pretty much we had the same starting investment. Okay. We had the same starting investment. Only difference, he held it. He held it and I'm buying and I'm selling. So the point I'm trying to make you understand is any which way you look at it. I don't care if you're a day trader. I don't care if you're a swing trader. I don't care if you're in the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, over the counter, GTII, or, no, we pretty much could say goodbye to all the Chinese IPOs with Teddy Zane. But I feel that if you would take a guy, if we could analyze someone, okay, who would buy and hold for however long it takes, it doesn't really make a difference if it's a 1 year period, a 2 year period, a 3 year period, versus, okay, someone who's a day trader, someone who's a swing trader. My opinion, and again, I'm not a financial planner, I don't give financial advice, I'm an entertainer, is that the person who buys and holds is going to be the true winner. Okay. Now, what's happening is that no one has this mentality in the stock. I would say I can't say that. I would say a very small percentage. Okay. I can't say nobody. I can't say nobody because there are very long term, investors who put money that they don't need in the stock market. So that was a very bad statement. But I would have to say, I would think 10, 20% at the most do this. At least 80%, because especially with retail investors, a lot of them are younger, a lot of them are newer to the market, and they're in a rush. They're in a big rush. So what they do is, they'll buy a stock that's hot at the time, AMC, and they're excited and we're all pumped up and we're a family and we're motivated and all this stuff. Okay. Buy and hold. I buy for you, you buy for me. I hold for you, you hold for me. But somewhere along the line, they quit. Now, again, I just want to be very clear. I'm not saying all apes quit. I'm I'm not saying that, okay? But a very large percentage did. And this was exactly the psychology that Ken Griffin had. I remember watching this interview on Ken Griffin, and he was talking about how he uses the biggest thing, his biggest way to win is you tire people out. That's what he does. He's got, the money, he's got the collateral to avoid margin calls. So to him, he doesn't care how long it takes. He's fine. You know what I mean? And he has also, I feel it's unfair, potentially illegal. Again, I have to say alleged, but, the ability to use synthetic shares, whatever you want to call it, naked shorting. And I believe they've done this many times before, these hedge funds. It's like they take shares that don't exist. It's like a Mount Everest. They dump it on AMC and they just leave it there. They don't have to pay interest on it. It's all promissory notes. And apparently, the SEC, the DTCC doesn't care. They're like, okay. So this is a great way for them to just dump, the Grand Canyon on us and then sit back with their feet up and be patient. That's it. Just be patient. Doesn't matter if it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years. And I believe it's working. I hate to say it. I'm not trying to, create FUD or anything like that. But a lot of people have been in this play now for what? About 2 years, right? Something like that. And it's just getting to a point where you see the price of AMC being where it is. I think in the pre-market it's $6.30. I think Ape was $2.50. But let's not talk about Ape. Ape's a whole different animal, a whole different ball game. Let's just focus on AMC. So it seems like the people, the apes, the retail investors have been getting restless. Okay. And they're getting impatient and they're getting tired and they're getting frustrated. So I know this because I speak to a lot of them. I do. I speak to a lot of them. We can't, always just blame the short sellers. I'd like to do that. And I do that a lot. I'd be like, it's corruption, it's manipulation, it's the short sellers. But in this case, there are apes selling. There are. Okay. Like I said, the psychology, the game plan, the business model of Ken Griffin is to exhaust you. And that's why I always tell apes, I've been making videos lately. Like, I'd rather see you own. You want to hear something crazy? Again, I'm not a financial planner. Let me just make this clear. I am not a financial planner. I'm an entertainer. I do not give financial advice. Do whatever you want with your money. I am simply here to entertain you. This whole video and all my videos are for entertainment purposes only. But the thing is, I would rather see an ape hold like 10 shares of AMC. You know why? Because he doesn't care about it. He doesn't need the money. And he could keep it in there for the rest of his life if necessary, okay? Than to see someone who's got like 1,000 shares, let's just say, or 2,000 shares, whatever the case may be, and they really need that money. Like, I need that 12 grand, let's say it's 2,000 shares, whatever it is. And they sell. They sell out of emergencies, they sell out of necessities, they sell out of whatever the reason is, boredom. They're tired. They're like, I could have made money in this play. I could have made money in that play. But if you think about it, you start playing the same game with the new play that you get into. So, like, see how a lot of people sold their AMC, John Wick snipping, and jumped into AVCT. So no one is saying that AVCT is a bad play. I never said that. See, people put words in my mouth. I don't like it personally, but I understand the concept. I mean, it doesn't look good to me, but I understand they're playing the same game in a way that AMC is playing. The AMC apes. They're waiting for a buyout. And once the buyout comes, and boom, Pluto, here we come. Okay. They're playing the same game with GTII. Okay. But any which way you twist it, there's no instant gratification, right? Like the only time I saw one time was that HKD. That was insane. That was like, what was it, like within like a week or 2 weeks, that thing went up to over 2,000 a share or something, right? From like $8 a share. It was like a 2 week process. It was the most amazing thing I think I've ever seen. Other than that, I don't really see too many things that give you instant, like my father told me with Tesla, instant gratification. He winded up making a lot of money because he held. That's how we made a lot of money. So I just wanted to make a video on that. You could jump, you could jump ship if you want to. It's your prerogative to go from AMC to GTII or AMC to AVCT or any of these plays. But just remember one thing. Just remember one thing. It's still a game of patience. It's no instant gratification. So, the point is that if you're going from one play to another play, and ultimately you have to wait and you have to be patient, I just don't see what the difference is. You know what I mean? I don't get it. You know what I mean? Because you still have to wait, right? Unless, of course, like I said, you're just day trading. If you're day trading, you're jumping in, getting a quick little profit, and you're out. That's fine. But again, if we measure a day trader versus someone who buys and holds a play, like let me give you one last example. Avis. Back in 2020, March of 2020, I owned Avis. Again, I made a few grand. Nothing crazy. I made some money on it. Okay. I believe it was under $10 a share at the time. I think I had like 5,000 shares of Avis. Okay. It was like something very, very reasonably priced. And everyone thought I was crazy. My father thought I was crazy. My wife thought I was crazy. My friends thought I was crazy. They're like, Richie, like no one's on vacation. It's a lockdown. Everything's locked down. You're investing in Avis. At the time, their competitor, who's no longer bankrupt, but at the time, Hertz, their competitor was bankrupt. And I just said to myself, no. They secured a $400 million loan. They're going to turn around. But I went against my instincts. I sold. I made a profit of like whatever it was, nothing crazy, 5, 7 grand. I don't know what I made. Nothing nuts. Nothing. I mean, I think it went up like a point or something. I just got out of it because the reason why everybody was telling me, get out. My wife was telling me, my father was telling me, my friends would tell I make a lot of money. All right. But I made a little bit of money. Whatever it was, a point and a half. The point I'm trying to make to you is this. That freaking thing went to over, it had like a freaking squeeze, a short squeeze, I think. That thing went to over $500 a share, Avis. I think to myself, if I would have just held that, if I would have held that 5,000 shares to over 500 a share, I would have made, 2.5 mil? So, do you see what I'm trying to say? And don't think the same things can't happen with AMC. It could shock you one day. Like one day we're all sitting back and, we got our feet up and, I'm having my morning bagel, gabish, a little bialy, a little coffee, you know what I mean? A little cappuccino, whatever the case may be. And all of a sudden something happens. The shorts close their positions for whatever their reasons are. Maybe they're under pressure. Under pressure. Going to close my short positions today. Bye-bye. Okay, now. You see AMC, boom, shoot up to 500 a share, shoot up to 1,000 a share. And all of a sudden I got millions. I'm a millionaire. I'm like, I am a re-millionaire. I fight for the apes. My dreams came true. But the thing is, if you're playing this game where you're always buying, you're selling, you're jumping plays, you're in, you're out, you're here, you're there, you're all over the place, you might miss that. You might miss the MOASS. So that's the point of this video. Again, I just want to reiterate to all of you, I am not a financial planner. I do not give financial advice. This video is for entertainment purposes only. AMC and GameStop to Pluto.